There are days when I feel mentally exhausted, but I still show up. Not because I'm motivated, not because I feel strong, but because life keeps moving and I decide to move with it, even slowly. Mental exhaustion feels different from physical tiredness. When my body is tired, I can rest and recover. But when my mind is tired, it feels heavier. Thoughts take longer. Decisions feel harder. Even small tasks feel like climbing a hill that never ends. On those days, I notice that I'm not dramatic. I'm not collapsing. I'm just drained. Quietly drained, and yet I still show up. I show up to work. I show up to conversations. I show up to responsibilities. Not with excitement, not with high energy, but with enough presence to keep going. I used to think that showing up only counted when I felt confident or inspired. I believed that if I wasn't at my best, it didn't matter. But now I see it differently. Showing up while mentally exhausted is a different kind of strength. It's softer, it's less visible, it doesn't look impressive, but it's steady. There is something honest about admitting that I'm tired and still choosing to participate in my own life. Sometimes when I feel mentally exhausted, I lower my standards. Not my values, just my expectations for performance. I don't try to be extraordinary. I aim to be consistent. I tell myself, you don't need to be amazing today. You just need to be present. Presence becomes the goal. I focus on one task at a time. I slow down my thinking. I stop trying to optimize everything. When my mind is tired, forcing productivity only makes it worse. So instead of pushing harder, I reduce friction. I answer the email. I complete the small task. I respond kindly, even if my energy is low. These actions may look ordinary, but they keep my life from collapsing into avoidance. There is a quiet dignity in doing small things while tired. I've also learned that mental exhaustion doesn't mean I'm failing. It often means I've been trying, I've been thinking, I've been caring, and caring requires energy. So when I feel drained, I don't immediately judge myself. I try to understand what drained me. Was it comparison, overthinking, perfectionism, too much input from the outside world? Understanding doesn't fix everything instantly, but it gives me perspective. On mentally exhausted days, I simplify. I don't make big decisions. I don't redesign my life. I protect my mental space instead of expanding it. I take breaks without guilt. I walk without listening to anything. I let silence exist. I remind myself that productivity is not the same as worth. Sometimes I still feel pressure to perform. The world doesn't slow down just because my mind is tired, but I've realized something important. Consistency is built on imperfect days. Anyone can show up when they feel energized. The real foundation is built when you show up at 70%, at 50%, sometimes even at 30%. That's when habits become real. That's when discipline becomes gentle instead of aggressive. I no longer measure my strength by how much I can endure. I measure it by how kindly I treat myself while enduring. There are evenings when I look back at the day and think, I didn't do much, but then I correct myself. I showed up. I didn't disappear. I didn't give up on myself. That counts. Mental exhaustion teaches humility. It reminds me that I'm human. It forces me to choose sustainability over intensity. And strangely, those tired days often build more resilience than the energetic ones. Because I learned that I don't need perfect conditions to move forward. I just need enough steadiness to take the next step. If you feel mentally exhausted right now, maybe you don't need a breakthrough. Maybe you don't need motivation. Maybe you just need permission to keep going quietly. Lower the volume, narrow the focus, protect your energy, show up in the smallest way you can. And if all you did today was stay present without quitting, that is not weakness. That is endurance in its calmest form. Mental exhaustion doesn't define you. It's a season, not an identity. And the fact that you're still here, still listening, still trying, still showing up, says more about your strength than any burst of productivity ever could. You don't have to be extraordinary today. Just show up. That is enough.